TSPN is excited to bring us a television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. Focusing on the lives, experiences, and viewpoints of motherlode women, the show features a rotating cast of 4 women of all ages and from all walks of life. Quick, upbeat, and fast-paced with a variety of topics, this 1-hour show will be aired live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tune in, it's Just Between Us.
Good morning and welcome to Just Between Us. And we have some lovely ladies here with us today. Wait until you see them.
You always say that.
No, this is exceptional. We got Kay and Kay with us today. I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Kathleen from Mountain Ranch.
I'm Kathleen from Pioneer.
And I'm Martha from my own.
Do you remember that one day we had Kathleen Switzer, you, Kathleen, and Kate? And she's a Kathleen. We have 3 Kathleens and myself.
Yeah, Heyman and Harmon. We
Heyman,
just missed an
Harmon,
R. We just missed an R.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, it's great to have you with us. Let's roll the dice and get our first 2 topics.
Okay.
Let me move that for you.
I'm going to fan these. There you go.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, we got a free-for-all.
Okey-doke.
And go ahead
And the first
roll.
topic,
First topic is appearance.
number 2.
Number 2 is, do you feel your better half meets the definition of attractiveness?
Better half?
Your better half.
Excuse me?
Your better half. Wait a minute. That should
We're
be
gonna
other
take a short
half.
break.
Right or
We'll be
left?
right back.
I think I like the better half.
Behind you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought we were going to a break.
We're still on. Yeah,
We are
baby,
still
now
on.
I know what we're really talking
Now,
about.
boy,
On the
we're
break.
talking about our halves.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Out there before. Now I remember.
Our off-camera conversations.
Welcome back. Thank you. Doggone it, I've been talking about that, and now I remember. It was
The black or the orange?
orange.
Okay. Bring
Doggone it.
bottle.
Let's go. Now I'm going to come out and
Alrighty.
buy some.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so.
Well,
for-
not really. I still have more to, but I just want to see the expression on her face. See, Kathleen knows. Kathleen knows not to get too serious here. Yes.
Okay, so our topic is appearance, and the one we have is number 2. It says, do you feel that your other half meets the definition of attractiveness?
What do you think?
The ones that I had, yes. In the past. Right now, I'm available.
There you go.
Well, I had a reaction to better half, so we reworded that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Him.
aren't we
Better known as
supposed to be?
him.
Aren't we, the women, supposed to be the better half?
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This is a yes/no question. So how
Have
do
you
we?
ever seen a couple, and
You wonder how they. Yeah.
yeah, and,
What
and
do you
he's
see in
he's
that person? Yeah.
impeccably dressed, the suit, everything's done. He walks in, he looks like a fashion model.
And
then
then they
you-
open their mouth.
And then well, that's another topic.
That's a different subject.
Then you look at the misses and you think, there's something amiss here. There's something wrong.
Well, you
here.
know what? Some men, they don't want women who are really, really attractive because they don't want them running around. They don't have to worry about them. They know they're going to stay home and not, you know
Oh,
what I
and
mean?
that of
That's
course
not
is
true.
that of
That's
course
not
is
true.
going to
But it is
stop
true.
that. But
You think so?
to answer the question,
I
yes.
really do. I've heard
Yes.
men say
he,
that.
He does meet.
I've actually
the
heard men say
good-looking
that. That are really,
standards.
when they're really
Yes,
honest.
he is.
Yeah.
Not a
From
lot.
what I can remember,
Not a
he's
lot, but-
very attractive, very nice man.
The whole family is gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. They're good-looking people. I'm very satisfied with John. Tries to take very good care of himself, and he always, does this look good? Does that look good? And of course, I say yes, and I walk away a little.
Does this make my butt look fat?
Yeah, that's like me. That's like me. You know, we were out working on the road crew, and we have to wear those orange vests. And I told the crew, I said, "Does this make my butt look big?" And they go, "Just keep pulling those weeds and keep trimming." But no, I think that I think sometimes the little ruggedness,
Yeah.
ruggedness
Ruggedness.
of men sometimes, I think that makes them more attractive.
It does. It does.
You know, I
Yeah,
don't think they
they
expect
can
that.
get wrinkles and gray hair, and
They
it's
do.
it's swarthy and good looking.
Well,
And if we get
just
wrinkles
like-
and gray hair, we have
know
let
that-
ourselves go.
The most interesting man, the one that trains the Dos Equis.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, he's a very
Now,
handsome
isn't
man.
he attractive? He is.
He's
Yeah.
a very,
You
very
know,
handsome
he's
man.
got that.
What
He's
did I
got that
miss?
The
rugged
guy that
sort
does the
of
Dos Equis
Renaissance.
commercial.
Beer
Oh.
commercial.
That
The-
kind of.
I never drink beer, but when I do,
I guess I don't watch
I
enough
do
TV.
it, Jose.
Well, he's got that kind of Renaissance man sort of
Yes.
appeal, you
Right.
know, and I think that is very attractive. But I wouldn't marry a person like that, though. I don't think, because I don't know, you know.
Well,
See, you have no self-confidence
Yeah,
in
but,
yourself.
but,
Well,
but just because
not
somebody's
bad,
gorgeous
it's
on
like-
the outside does not necessarily
No.
make them
Right.
shallow on the inside.
And some of the sexiest men have been bald. Look at Yul Brynner and Telly Savalas.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. That's
You
true.
know, to
And my
me,
great aunt.
When I see a very good-looking man, to me, it's a little bit intimidating.
Really?
You know, yes.
It isn't to me. It's not that. It's
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know. I don't ever
I would
look.
not approach
I don't
that
really
person.
look at looks so much. It's more
The
you know,
inner.
I mean, my husband's a very
Depends
good
on
looking
what
man.
after they open their
but-
mouth, whether they approach them or not.
Yeah.
You know, because
But it's really more about what's inside. I'm more, I respond to what their soul is about. You know what I mean?
well,
But
they
it's
got
hard- it's
married
hard
to,
to
for God's sakes.
Well, my husband is exceptional. I gotta say. He's
Yes,
just-
he
is.
is.
He's a
He is.
lovely
He's
man.
really a wonderful
John's
man.
innards is mostly gas.
Don't watch this,
But I
John.
still,
Well, isn't everybody's past a certain
but yeah, we're old. It's gas. He says, I have that feeling. I says, oh, it's gas. A couple of times you'll be fine. He's taking a nap. He's got a cold, so he doesn't.
Oh yeah, you better watch out when you get home. Your butt is going to be big.
Yeah, no, not really. But I just think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
It is.
And it's not a physical thing. It's an inner thing.
It is an thing.
You know, a
I
lot
believe
of
it
times
is.
I see women say, "Oh my, that woman! How could she have such a good-looking husband? Look at her." Because she's beautiful inside. Outside doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I think that, and I think generationally that it's gotten a little bit more difficult. But I think that anymore, what you look like is the precursor to who you are. And a lot of people don't get the opportunity to be seen for who they are because we have become a culture of beautiful people. And if you weren't born with it, you can buy it.
Yeah.
And-
Too much
and-
emphasis is put
Yeah.
on the superficial.
Right.
And that's not good.
It's
That's
not good.
I mean,
It
I think
isn't
you should
good.
try to keep yourself up and look good. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that
The
when you make
plastic
that
surgery turns me off.
Yeah.
I mean, when
you make
get
that
to
number
where you
one-
I don't
start
know.
looking like
I
that,
keep thinking, how much would this cost? You know?
Well, no, I mean, if you've seen those women that they kind of look like cats. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Joan
and
Rivers.
they've got these big, huge lips and stuff. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, that just like,
I don't think it's
It's not
attractive.
very
Well, not only
natural.
that, but you know where they get that stuff for their lips? From their butt. So it's like
Yeah.
they're kissing their butt.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to
I
hear
mean,
them when
to
they,
me-
I hate to be around them when they
mean,
burp.
that's just
We have to go
kind
to our next topic. I have to go to our next topic here. It's our free for all, and we're gonna talk about.
What are we talking about?
We all drew a blank.
Image? What?
Oh, I know what it was. Oh,
What was it?
We had a little senior moment
Oh,
there.
yes, yes.
They asked the people that are presenting and that are
that's
attending
right.
the award shows. They want them to use a little bit more discretion when they dress, because they're dressing a little bit too provocative. They see through, low cut, plunging, this and that.
You
That's
know,
just the
do
guys.
you really believe
But
that they are going to listen?
Oh, you know
No.
what?
Really believe?
Yeah, I
Almost
do.
a challenge. It's
You
almost
know,
a challenge for some.
they'll push
You'll
the
have
envelope.
No, you have the one or two that are going to do what they
That's
want to
what I
do, no
mean.
matter what. But,
Exactly.
you know, I believe that arena is just like any other arena. If you step too far out of bounds, you get
Well, people,
blackballed.
yeah, and
you
look
do.
with all of the entertainment talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're on there that night. You know, half an hour after the show's
Right.
over. So I do feel. I mean, there was a few of them, like when Jennifer Lopez wore that. I think it was that Versace, the green one, where it was very, very plunging. Okay, she doesn't have big breasticles, so in that respect, that was okay.
That's
And
an
she had-
interesting conjugation of that word.
Or chesticles. She had it taped, but you could tell she had small breast, and it wasn't, she was making a statement. It was all the way down to her navel. But to me, I don't find that attractive. You don't leave anything quite to the imagination. Of course, I'm looking at it as a woman. You know, I'd like to stab her because she looks so good.
But European men say that.
Works hard to
you know,
look
I mean,
that good,
if
too.
you
Gorgeous.
talk to European men, that's what they'll say. You know, when we've been to Europe and stuff, European men, they don't want to see it all. That's not attractive. I mean, why would they want to do that?
That's
You know,
true.
I mean,
but
there's
leave
nothing,
something
there's
to the
nothing
imagination.
there to discover. There's nothing there to, you know what I mean?
Well, and you know, that's the yardstick that a lot of young girls and younger women look at is the people that they see on the screen. And, you know, at some point, I think it's prudent for the media that has that focus to say, hey, wait a minute, you know, be a little less.
Yeah.
And,
You know,
and that is what the trend is going to be.
My
you know.
understanding is that sex sells.
Sure.
So you know, whether they do it or not, I mean, that's
But
what
So
some of
you
the
don't-
best,
you
some of
don't
the best
think
hits
that's
are the ones
sexy?
that are
And
covered
why-
up.
and
But you
why
don't
do
think sexy isn't
I mean,
less
look at
exposure?
Madonna. Look at Madonna. I mean, she pushes the envelope to the max, you know.
But all over Facebook
And what do people want to see? They want to see all the dramatic, all the craziness.
Right. They
all,
want to
you know.
see.
But when
how much further
When
she's gonna
Beyonce
go.
did
Right.
the
Well, you know, I got
Super
to say,
Bowl?
when I watched
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, because I don't usually watch the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even know, you know.
there was
anyway.
a lot of nasty chatter about how
Trashy.
trashy she looked.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
a beautiful. She's a
And
Oh,
beautiful.
she's a
she is
beautiful woman.
beautiful.
But you know, the
Beyonce.
last time, the
Beyonce?
last time that I saw the Super Bowl was when Janet
Jackson.
Jackson did that little, and I mean, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I saw it happen, and everybody else, no one else had seen it but me. Everybody was doing something else, and nobody believed me until it came on the news later, you know. But so my point is, yesterday I'm watching the Super Bowl, and that's what comes to mind is stuff like that, you know what I mean? And
But truly, when you see fashion that is so extremely revealing, and young girls are looking at that's my role model, then their brain says, then that's what I have to dress like in order to be successful or to get the man
Well-
or whatever, and to have that entertainment industry say, hey, wait a minute, you know, let's kick it up a notch. I think it will have a more far-reaching effect in that the fashion statements and trends of the next year will be a little
The fashion
less.
statement now, the dresses are too short. When they say crack a smile, they mean crack a smile. I don't like them that short. I mean, I don't care if they're young or not. That is entirely too short.
When your gluteal fold is showing.
Crack a
that's
smile.
That's
There we
right.
go.
That's right out of the
Well,
dress
and
code
see,
for one of our local high
There you
schools.
go.
Because my
With the
daughter
boys,
brought that
yeah.
home, and I went,
There you go.
"Gluteal fold?"
We have to pick two new. Yeah, we have to pick two new topics. But don't you find? I mean, I find it. Here they are. They're beautiful. Have beautiful figures. You
Yeah.
lower your hem 2 inches, and you look hot. It looks pretty. It looks much better.
And the first
And
topic,
we have another free-for-all.
Okay.
And
Free-for-all.
divorce is the topic.
divorce.
charming.
Oh, number 6.
Experience.
Just because you have been divorced, does that mean that you are a failure at marriage?
Oh, I can talk about that.
I think
And we have
all
another
a
free for
subject
all.
there.
So we're
Absolutely
we're
not.
going to get into another free for all. So girls, when we come back,
Okay.
don't look
We'll
at me
have
and
a
go,
break.
"What is it?" Because I'm the oldest one here, and I have those senior
You came up with the
moments.
last one. It's our turn. Yeah.
We're going to take a short break. Please stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome back to Just Between Us, and we're ready to hit up our next
Okay.
topic.
And our next topic is divorce. And number 6 is, just because you have been divorced, does that mean that you are a failure at marriage?
No, look at Elizabeth Taylor. 9
Absolutely.
times. She didn't fail, did she?
9
You wasn't a
times.
failure, right?
Oh my! I had no idea it was that many.
Yeah, I think it was
Wow.
8 or 9.
How many times?
8 or 9.
Really? Wow.
'Cause she married Burton twice.
Yeah, she did. She was
Well,
one
she
of
didn't
those, yeah.
divorce. Was it Mike Todd? He was killed, I believe, in the airplane. Or Nikki Hilton.
I
Maybe it was
never kept
Nikki.
up with
I
her.
don't know.
I don't know, because I kind of lost
Yeah,
track
I have
there,
a friend
but
of mine that told me I needed to quit marrying my dates. I think maybe Elizabeth Taylor had the same problem.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't believe that if you fail at marriage, I don't care if you fail at marriage 2 or 3 times. I don't consider you a bad marriage risk. I just think, you mentioned this before, it's the person that you chose to
My
be.
picker's broken.
Yeah, there you go. Your picker puckered up and did the wrong thing there.
Well, at some point, yeah.
It's just that it was, sometimes people grow in different directions. You
Yeah,
take
yeah.
different avenues, and
Yeah.
there you
And
go.
at some point, you know, if you have a couple failed marriages behind you, you have to, you know, do some introspection and realize that, oh, hey, I'm the
Maturity
common
level.
denominator here.
Look at you.
I need
You
to
were
make a
married
better
for
choice.
20-something years like I was, and
Well,
both
and
of us.
the choice wasn't yours.
No.
You know, the reality is that in divorce, a lot of times the partner that is left is like, how did
Yeah.
that happen? I did
Right.
not see that coming.
I think
Yeah.
what happens, in my opinion, is that every divorce is a different situation.
It is.
Not everybody is the same. Just because we got a divorce doesn't mean that we still didn't love each other. It, you know, when we got a divorce and he got remarried, we went to court because the wife took me to court for some whatever, okay? I told the judge, you know, I still love this man, Your Honor. We just can't live under the same roof. You know, we have children and we care about each other, but I just don't understand why we couldn't live with each other anymore while he fell in love with somebody else. And I forgave him. I let him go. You know, and it's very hard, you know, to do that right away. I
I've
did.
been through that
You know,
situation.
where
We all have. All
when
four
you
of us
have
have.
So I know
no
what you mean.
control, why fight it? Although
Yeah,
when they were
yeah.
trying to take away everything away from me,
That's
then the
different.
tiger came out on me.
Well, of
Yeah.
course. And, you know, and it brings out, you get to find out what you're made of. And that's what happened in
Yes.
you know, my last marriage was the same situation.
you
My
have-
husband
and-
was having an affair for over a year, and I didn't know what was going on.
And I mean, what do you
suspected,
do?
but what do you
can't
do?
Fight back, you know.
No.
It does no good.
It doesn't.
Well, you know what I
isn't there
did?
the
What I
saying-
did is I took all of his stuff. I put it. Put it in the car. I changed the locks on the door. I took the copies of the lead lovers from his girlfriend. I put it all in his truck at work, and I said,
Goodbye.
"Have a nice
You're
life.
the
You know,
weakest
have a
link.
great
But
life.
don't
I
you
really
feel
hope it
that
works for you."
the old saying is that the candle doesn't burn the same way twice? So even if you take them back, unless you get into some intense counseling and you have to do battle. I mean, you've got to tell them.
Me? No.
Yeah, but see, no.
When I say I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done.
You know,
I'm done.
there are people
Yeah.
that do.
Exactly.
I've never been able to cut that cleanly. I always have that hope springs eternal.
Oh, not me, not
well, I
me.
do. I
Yeah.
do. It has caused
Well,
me grief in my life.
I
but
think that
nonetheless.
everybody
Gotta be.
goes through a period of that, Kathleen. I really
Oh, yeah.
do. I think that once the thing is there, you think, well, now he'll see what it's really like with her. He'll be back with me. We'll repair, and you're willing. We'll repair this
And
and that.
some people work.
After a while, you say no.
It with some
Yes.
people it does work, but
Yes.
it depends on their chemistry. It depends on how much they really care about each other and how much they want to be together. You know, once one person in their mind say, you know, I really don't want to be with this person, no matter how much you try,
Right.
it's not
There's no
gonna
point in
work.
fighting it, and I totally agree. I
Yeah.
mean, what are you going to do?
Well,
There's nothing you can do with that.
You know, and I believe very strongly that love is a decision. That, you know, we talk about falling in love and we talk about how, you know, that love is a decision, because sometimes you wake up and either your day is bad or their day is bad, and either I'm unlovable or they're unlovable, but you have to choose to love. And and in my circumstance, the problem has been is that I have made that effort, but that effort hasn't been made back.
You know what I just told my granddaughters last night, because we go home together? I said, you know, they were talking about being in love and this and that. I said, you know, sometimes I wonder if love is an illusion.
You know, I read,
you
I read,
wonder.
a, I read
You
a
know?
book that talked about love having been an invention of the, what was it, the troubadours or something, 13th century. And because before that, marriages were arranged.
Right.
Sure.
You know,
Mine was.
Martha's
Mine was,
everyone,
yeah.
you know, everyone's was arranged,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
the way it was. And I know that still goes on today because
And
I
it
have a
worked
girlfriend.
beautifully for 20-some years.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It worked
And I
beautiful.
think that you know that works. If your parents really love you and really know you, they know you better than you
Yeah.
know yourself at that age. And God knows when you're 18, 19 years old, you
Yeah.
really don't have.
Yeah, there's a great song in Fiddler on the Roof that, you know, she says, "Do you love me? Do I what?
Do I- yeah.
Do you love me?
Right.
I wash your clothes. I this. I that. I that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
After
right.
25 years, if that isn't love, what is? You know.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
so-
exactly.
We have to move on, Dolly.
Oh, that was a
So
good
we're going to do
topic.
our
Okay.
second hot topic, and we came up with talking about right now a lot of what's going on in the news and stuff. A lot of mental illness is coming out to the forefront, and you know, it seems that I guess because of the media and it's out there more.
Yeah, the acronym diseases.
Chemical
Yeah.
imbalances and just a lot more aggression and anger and frustration and, you know, taking it out, but in a violent way and harming people, killing people. And it's just, you know, there just seems to be more of it.
Well, you know, I wonder whether or not there's more of it or there's just more reporting of it. But, you know, we had a off-camera conversation. I do believe that a lot of this propensity for mental illnesses and mental deficiencies probably does have to do with what we eat.
Oh, I definitely
You know,
believe
because,
it.
I mean, opiates have been around since the cows came home, but the mixing of one component with another and the designer drugs and you know,
I think drugs has a lot. I think drugs.
And I also think
Does have
that
something to
what
do
we're
with it.
eating though too, because
Yeah,
we
what we're
have
eating.
our foods are filled with antibiotics and steroids, you know, and steroids. I mean, it's proven when we have athletes that are taking a lot of steroids, they get nutty.
You know,
You know, you have
Roy-
short
Roy-
fuses.
Roy-
me
Roy
growing
Rage.
up in another country, Mexico, I was used to that. I mean, to me, that was an everyday life.
What?
You know,
Exactly.
killings and
Oh, okay, violence and-
violence and you know, it
Well,
was
that's
like
been since the
July.
dawn of time.
Why do you think that was though? I mean, what was it? Desperation? Was it poverty? Was it what?
Yeah, probably not having enough money or just egos.
Okay, so
you
it's
know,
fear. It's fear.
And people would fight over everything. So you
Right.
had to learn to fight back.
Right.
But that's
You know.
not OCD or
No.
that's
No,
just
no.
that's just life.
Basic-
And
basic
sometimes
survival.
that
I
type
think
of thing has gone on forever.
You know, I
Well, we-
think education has a lot to do with it too. You know, because well, I have heard of a lot of people that are educated, but mostly is people that are not highly educated, where they know what to do to fix the problem.
But they
you
also know right from wrong. Today we have a lot of people that are suffering from paranoia, schizophrenia.
Yeah, we really do.
Different.
We really do.
You know, the 12-letter. $25 words,
Right,
and
right.
there's a pill for this, there's a pill for that, there's this and that. Then you see the side effects. I mean, you know, somebody is feeling desperate, they're feeling suicidal, whatever. They give them a medication. One of the side effects is suicide. Oh,
Right.
well, I can't
Yeah.
wait to get that
Yeah.
prescription filled again.
Right. Well, I'm going to run right down and get that one. Yeah,
I know,
exactly. You know, that
I-
really
sometimes
motivates
I
me to
listen
take
to
that
those
drug.
commercials and I think,
It doesn't make
So
sense.
why would people take that medication? You
Well,
know,
we have way too much information given
Yes.
to us on television about medications.
Right.
But I have been prescribed psychotropic drugs, and it was a.
But it didn't make you feel like that.
Well, there was a process. I mean, it's been almost 30 years ago now, but you know, at some point, the intervention of medication is necessary. But there was a couple of them that made me just want to sit in a corner and
Yeah.
tuck up and be left alone. None of them made me aggressive, but it took a while to
Well, I'm
find
not
the
saying
one
that
that
they're
was
not
going to
good.
even me out. Because there is a chemical imbalance in your brain with
Absolutely.
serotonins,
It is.
and I mean I could give
Absolutely.
you all the litany of all of the stuff, but
Right. No, I'm
you know,
saying that they're needed.
for a year that got me to a point where you know, I'm a productive member of society, but at that time I was
You
not.
were not.
I couldn't add 2 and 2 and come up with 4 without crying.
Yeah.
That's how broken my capacity was. So
Right. No, there's certain medications. I mean, every one of them has their place in society. But are we medicating people that really there should be other things that maybe they're looking at first?
Well,
That's
there's
what I'm
so
saying.
much self-medication going on that,
Yes.
Well,
you
and
know.
there also needs to be, like you're talking about, not only do you do the temporary medication, but then there's counseling and
Yeah.
there's skills
Oh, yeah.
that you
It
need
was
to learn.
very
and there's,
highly regulated.
Right, and there needs to be monitoring. And
Yeah.
it's not just give you a pill and see you in a year, you
Yeah.
know, or
No.
6 months or whatever. Let's find out how this is
Right.
working for you. And I think, that's supposed to be protected by the fact that psychiatrists and MDs are the only ones that can prescribe.
Correct.
It can't just be a psychologist
Right.
or, a counselor. It has to be someone who has a medical
That's
background
licensed,
and
right.
understands the chemicals that are involved in.
See, in the old days,
what's
when you were
going on.
Italian, you had a little brandy in your coffee in the morning, you had a glass of wine for lunch, a couple glasses of wine for dinner. You never had that problem. Ask the mob. They never had any
In
violent.
Mexico, it's a little shot of
We're
tequila
going to
for
take our
breakfast.
last two.
Last
Oh.
two topics.
Boy,
Okay. Well,
Boy,
this
it's
Yeah,
is
there you
flying
go.
away.
There's
Bam. Okay. Alrighty.
And the first topic,
And the first topic is feelings.
feelings.
Don't break out. Yeah, just say it. Kathleen's our singer. Do not break out in that. It'll be in my mind now. all week.
Sorry.
Number 3.
Number three is, how do you handle the drama queen who shows too much emotion and feelings?
Oh, that's a funny one.
There's a commercial. There's a commercial out with Debbie Boone that You Light Up My Life.
Yeah.
Every time it comes on for 3 hours, I'm singing that song.
Oh,
That and that feeling.
and the next topic, and the next
And the next topic is getting back on track.
number
Good
6
way
Number
to-
6. Number 6 would you feel suspicious if your other half, or
Who wrote these?
or a best friend never goes off track now and then?
Okay, well, think
Well,
about
would
that
you
one.
feel-
If
read
they
that
were
one.
perfect, is that what it would be?
We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and explain this
Let's
to you.
figure it out.
Okay.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Back, I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Kathleen from Mountain Ranch.
And I'm Kathleen from Pioneer.
And I'm Martha from Iona. And Jackson.
And Jackson. Amador.
Jose.
All right, kid.
Okay, so
Let's go.
our topic is feelings.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sorry.
And
You light
number
up my
three,
life, Kathleen.
We could sing this whole segment.
Sorry.
Number 3 is, how do you handle the drama queen who shows too much emotion and feeling?
Or can you?
Or can
you
you?
handle
You know,
drama
ignoring them is the best manner, in my opinion. When somebody needs
Yeah, because
to
they
draw,
want that.
they want to draw attention
Yeah.
to themselves, or truly do believe that everything is just crisis. and-
Revolves around them.
You know, I wonder if if anybody ever sees me as a drama queen,
No.
you know, because I don't know what a drama queen is.
Somebody that goes, you know,
They've constantly got a
emotional
crisis.
over everything.
They've constantly got a crisis. They're constantly, in a upset. Constantly
me,
got
me, me, me,
themselves
me.
going.
Yeah.
It's me, me,
Yeah,
me,
that-
me,
that-
it's all
really,
about
that's
them.
what it is.
Yeah.
is-
You know, they go from one thing to the next, and half the stuff is they blow it out of proportion,
Yeah.
and it's just.
it's
You
like,
could-
oh my God, I'm out of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Are you really? No. But yeah,
Well,
it's
that's
just-
my. It's like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
it depends on how you focus on whatever's
Or
going on.
you could be sitting there telling him, I'm going to have my leg amputated. Well, let me tell you, I had a flat tire yesterday.
Yeah,
It's all
really.
about me,
Yeah.
me, me, me.
Oh,
One of those.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I can start. That's my mother. I start telling her about something, and she turns around and she tells me this bigger story about herself.
It's all about-
you know, like,
yeah.
oh, Mom, I have a headache. Oh, I just had the worst headache ever for 3 days, and it's like 3, 4, 5 times bigger than what I'm trying to explain to her, so that maybe she can help me and give me little tips on
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
to do, you know. But she always is worse.
Yep.
Whatever
That's it.
happened to me, it happened 3 times bigger to her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, Mom, okay.
Yeah, but don't you
And
think it's
people like
better
that
just
I
to ignore
avoid.
them after
Yeah.
a while?
Well, I
I just
avoid
kind
people
of
like that.
stay
Yeah.
away from them.
Yeah.
I don't, even have
Yeah, but
them
what if
in
you're
my
in a position where it's
life
like a
anymore.
family or somebody? It's a family member, and you can't.
You're
I mean,
talking
you're
about
gonna-
my mother?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I
yeah,
don't like
if it's a
that, too.
family member, that makes it a little rougher. But you
Yes,
know, I
it
think
does.
we've kind of trained our family. You know, we do. I think we do that in society. We kind of
Well, I think we have roles within a family
we
unit.
do.
Sometimes you can't define your role. You are perceived to have a role. And so I limit my exposure because of that, because that situation actually
Right.
does exist in my family. But, you know, there are people that are drama queens in another manner that are, they're a little bit too loud, too flamboyant.
They want the attention.
Yes, and it's not necessarily that it's the, oh, woe is me, but the, oh, did you see? And
Right.
whoa,
Any attention, good or bad, is
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I have
it's
to
not-
understand my mother because she's 80 years old, okay? So I love you, Mommy.
Is she watching?
I don't know.
Well, if you have a headache tonight, we'll know.
But, you know,
Mommy, I love you.
you know,
late.
truly, those types of personalities really wear on me.
Yeah.
And
They
so
They
Oh,
drag
oh,
you down.
they-
It's
Well,
exhausting.
But when you consistently surround yourself with a certain personality, it has a tendency to affect me. So I have to.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, it's exhausting
Yeah.
because you're always waiting for that other shoe to fall, and you're walking on eggshells, and it's like, oh, here it comes. And then if it doesn't, then it's like, here we go through that anxiety again. It's coming. I know. You
Well,
know.
and because of the energy that it takes to diffuse all of that,
Oh.
and it does wear me out, it affects who I am at the end of the day. So I just really work at having a positive attitude and
Yeah.
avoiding consistent interaction with people like that, unless it's your mother.
I used to get
and
a
my
lot of
mom's
that.
not that way,
I
so I'm
got
very
a lot
blessed.
About
But
teaching, you know, I students that they didn't come in with their homework, or they, you know, missed the last
Drama.
2 classes, and one of them was the final, you know, or the midterm, or
Oh, my
whatever, you know,
gosh.
that kind of stuff. And they always had a drama story every single time. There was always something, and a lot of times they were believable. I mean, they really were true. I know, you know, I knew, but I mean. You know, I'd say, okay,
I
you
bet
ready
you
for
heard
extra
some
credit? You know?
stories.
But you
I'm
throw out
sure
the
you've
drama
heard
queen,
some
but there's drama kings too. There's
Oh,
some men
boy.
that
Yeah,
you know
there
do the
are.
same thing. All right, our last topic before our hot one.
Okay, our last topic is getting back on track. And number
it's about
6,
time.
would you feel suspicious if your other half,
Don't break out in suspicion now.
I hadn't even gone there.
That little mind's going there.
or your best friend never gets off track now and then? So in other words, if they were never acting odd or never,
Never had like downtime.
you never had any
or-
downtime.
I wouldn't. Well, off track would be to me is a little bit more deviant than that. You know, yeah, I know people that do a pretty good job of moderating their life.
I think they're hiding, or maybe they don't want you to know that they're getting off track or something. I don't know.
I sometimes maybe that's generational. I think that I don't think I've ever seen my mother lose her temper ever.
Really?
Whether she does it
That's
or not,
amazing.
I don't know.
Wow.
But,
Maybe you just got used to it.
no,
I did.
I think of Charlie. You know, there's just an evenness in personality that if there tends to be something that's irritating or
They don't show it.
yeah, it's not
I have one
a
of my
screaming,
employees like
ranting.
that.
It's just I'm going
She's
to have my
beautiful.
quiet time,
She's-
deal with it, and
Yeah.
Easy going.
Oh, yeah.
Never. Her temper is always even. You know, she doesn't go like this or like this.
They
And,
internalize
I'm-
everything.
My husband, yeah, well, my husband's like that. He's pretty even keel. I mean, he will discuss things, but I love it because this is the tone that we discuss things. I
Oh,
mean,
you're-
it's great.
that's
I really
Yeah.
like that
Yeah,
because
that's the way
Yeah.
Lulu is.
But
yeah.
do you know when she's having an off day, or?
She comes with tears in her eyes. Yeah. You know.
Okay, so that's-
Then-
but that's
then-
not
that's
that's not this.
That's no.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she's
But
showing
still-
emotion. This is if they don't show emotion.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, no,
Would you
yeah.
get suspicious? I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
there's something. Let's say there's something. A heavy duty, you know, a big emotional thing going on in their family, and it's like, oh well, we'll get over it. See, to me, they're internalizing it. I mean, maybe they don't feel comfortable talking about it with certain people or with everyone, and I appreciate that. I mean, that's their right. But if it's somebody close to you, like a friend or your spouse or whatever, your parent, you think, you know what,
If
I
their
know
behavior
you.
all of a sudden becomes very
Like,
different
how
than
can
the
you be
norm.
so
Yes,
polite?
that,
Right.
you know, yes, that
Yeah,
is,
there's something
that's a
uh,
real red flag for
yeah.
something's going on.
Right.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
something not right there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I do feel maybe that's the time where you should go up and say, hey, you know, I know this is going on, and and if it's bothering me, it's got to be bothering you. You
Right.
need to get this out.
Well, healthy
Address it,
conversation
yeah.
is the
Address
ability
it.
to talk about anything and everything, and when you stop talking about anything and everything, you know, what's causing that?
The best means of communication I have found is listening.
Yes.
That is the best thing. Listen to what the other person is telling you. They're not just talking; they're trying to convey
Yeah.
something to you.
You know,
and
I
some
have
people
two
don't like to
friends.
be touched, but
Yeah.
the minute you make contact with another person, there is something that can't be, you know, when you get, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
You just know. So to gently touch the person that you're talking to, it really does break down a barrier that.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And you know, and I'm thinking of two friends of mine, they're very, very dear friends of mine, and they've been married twice with each other, and they, you
Wow.
know, and now they're dating. And, you know, one of them went away and did some things for herself, and the other one, but it's just beautiful to watch these two.
But is it because
Because
they're
they-
familiar with each other?
No,
or?
you know, well, part of it's because they're familiar. They, you know, they don't have a secret one between them. Neither one of them. They have a huge,
They got the
incredible
goods on
history.
each other there.
But, well, of course they do. But what I've really noticed lately that I just love being around them is that they listen to each other, and they say these, you know, nice things. They you know, those things that you think but you don't say.
Yeah.
They say them to each other. It's like I've never seen them put so much effort in. It's just beautiful to watch it. I really
That's
love
what
it.
love really is to me.
Yeah.
You know, listening to
Yeah.
the people that you love
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
conveying how you feel
Right.
and get a
and
return.
know that you're being
Yeah.
listened to.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I saw the most interesting thing there. I was watching this talk show or something, and this gentleman on there said, you know, we always convey our feelings in different ways. Have you ever sat down and wrote a note and told the person you love how you feel? So you know what I did? I did that. And John says, great. You read it? He goes, oh, fire starter. This is great. No, no, he didn't. He said, you know what? That is so, I've never had anybody do that. And you just tell them, I don't say it enough, but I appreciate you. You know, I worship the ground you walk on because you've done so much. You're so understanding. Put it in writing and leave a little note for them now and
My
then.
husband and I do
And
that.
mean
And
it.
what we'll do is
And
we'll
mean
hide
it.
it under the
Write it
person's
down.
pillow. You know, we hide it under each other's pillow. And we used to do it all the time. You know, it was like, I have stacks. I literally have a stack
How
like
wonderful.
this. And, you know, he'd bring me angels, and because I collect angels and I sculpt angels and stuff. I have a thing about
cute.
angels.
What a nice
But
man.
he does that, and I've got them all over the house. My house is filled with angels, and I have these cards, and I put them around because I like to read them. I've one it above my visor in my car because I read it, you know, and I do the same for him. And we don't do it as often as we used to, but we still do it. And he just sits
That's
and
great.
hands write, and we hand write.
See,
what
mine
we
just
feel.
rolls on the pillow. We have to take
Yeah.
a short break. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Ladies, are you ready for our hot topic?
Oh, you betcha.
Okay,
I have an
bring it
opinion.
on.
Any thoughts on the manhunt that is currently underway in Los Angeles?
My first reaction was, what was his last job? He was a police officer, right? Why is the picture that the media is seeing, the one in his fatigues showing his military service,
He was in the
that
military,
pisses,
too.
I know, but that pisses me off. That is a statement that says, I really am very hot about this. That's a statement that says, because of his military training, that is why he is doing what
He
he's
was
doing.
just- and he
Has
was just-
nothing to do with
no.
having been a police officer. Baloney. That's
He
all I
was
have
ju-
to
he
say.
wa- He was just and he was a reservist. He wasn't.
Yeah,
He
I
wasn't
have
and I
a
don't think
huge reaction to the fact that
Well-
they're showing him in his military fatigues and not his police uniform, which is the job that he had when all of this started, that manifesto that he was talking about. It was his service as a police officer. Show that picture of him in his uniform as a police officer.
But do you know why they're doing it? Because they know that by doing that, more people will put attention because they say, oh, this guy was supposed to be protecting us.
To me, it's slamming. To me, it's slamming the military.
Yeah,
But
well,
psychologically,
it's
slamming,
psychologically, what
actually-
that does is it associates him with the Rambo personality.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I don't
And that's
like that.
exactly what it does.
I don't like it
And
saying.
it's-
Just really makes me angry.
There's a lot of police officers out
It's
there that
psychological
don't do that, and
manipulation.
firemen
what really
and
happened,
military.
what really happened was,
It's ugly.
you know what really happened.
Well, what really happened is he turned evidence against, in the manifesto, against some of his fellow police officers, and he was fired, and he's saying that it ruined his life. Well, and so now he's going to go turn around and ruin other people's lives.
He was saying he
because
was
he's-
fired
Well, you know,
because
and-
of prejudice, they were prejudiced towards him.
Well, that's what he's
But
stating.
you don't go kill people over it.
But you
Absolutely
don't
not.
murder.
Well, this is when you know, we were just talking about the people that need medication.
Right.
Once you come to a certain point, you
The
know,
stress
and
level.
then
Well,
you
I think we
lose
can
control.
concur that he
you know.
obviously, he is not a stable human being. He's an angry man,
Yes.
and his uniform has nothing to do.
No, but
Exactly.
for
It's
crying
un-
out loud,
but-
we have enough problems with
Yes.
people having issues with.
But it is. I mean, you know, the man is obviously unstable. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. You don't murder someone and be stable. You know, that's just
then
not a
How's
stable
it's
Carrie?
a
choice.
concern to me that there's a fan club on Facebook, and I understand now Twitter, that it's like, you know, they're supporting the vigilante behavior
but I
of
think
this.
that's a general indication of the
just sick.
frustration.
Well, it just looked
on
like the
a
fan
Frustration
club
of
for
people.
OJ when he went through
Yeah.
his trial.
Yeah.
Look at the one
Right.
for Scott Peterson.
right.
I mean, there's always people
just
that
horrible.
gravitate towards things like that. I do believe that he is watching and listening to what is being said
Well,
and
of
what's
course he
going
is.
on.
Of course
But
he
you
is.
know,
His
how
ego-
scary
he's got this
can
ego
this
thing.
can this be for all the people that live around there? You know, that they don't know. Everybody keeps saying that he's very dangerous.
Well, I think
that he
this is what
was
this is. This is a
trained.
statement on his behalf of power. He's
Yeah,
saying,
he's
I
in
have
control.
power,
Yeah.
and I have power over you, and I have power over the police department. And
It's
that's what
really
he's
sad.
saying.
I
It's
saw
sad.
on the news
But he's
this
shown his
morning
power.
his girlfriend, you know, talking about it, and it was like she has a feeling that this is not going to end up in a good.
Well,
He
no,
said-
it's
you
not.
He said he's
It's
willing
like-
to die for,
Yes.
for what he feels, and my feeling is if
Well,
that's
he
the way
will,
you feel,
whether he's captured or whether he's
absolutely.
not.
They said whether he, I don't think he will be captured. I think he's going to go out in suicide by cop. I think
Well, and
that's
then
one of his things.
what's really sad is reactionary is the belief by a police unit that was following a truck that they thought was his, and innocent victims were severely injured because they reacted instead of researched the situation, and you know
And
it
that's
just
gonna
Well,
snowballs.
and see, what
And-
that does is show on the media, again, it shows how afraid the police department is of this man. So that's just telling the world that they're frightened.
I believe he got
You
a
know?
hold of a man and he tied him up. He tried to steal his boat. He didn't harm him though. He tied him up. But I think what the main thing that has to come out, and the thing that we have to remember, is that until this thing is done, we're not going to know exactly what the heck was
Well, we
going
never
on with
know.
this man's
We never
mind.
end up
You know,
knowing.
and-
Like,
and
look
you
what
never
happened
really
to
know
that little
what's
boy.
going on in
Look what
somebody's
happened to
head.
that little boy that they just, you know, got him out. How did they do that through one little?
Oh, they had a camera down there and saw
Yeah.
that he had a gun.
Yeah.
And that hey, it was time to go in and storm the place.
But you know, we always go with the negative, bigger. But to me, you know, the police, you know, saved this little child.
Yeah.
You know, it's his birthday is today.
Right,
You know, and it's like this is what we should be.
Let's hope in this
emphasizing, all the
situation
positive.
that no one else is killed, and
Yeah.
and
pray
this
to God that
this
everything
man
gets well
that is out doing that,
care of.
we have to remember he's a lost soul.
This is where I believe
He is a
media
lost
does
soul.
all of us a disservice,
disservice.
because if
Yes.
this was just cloistered and dealt with,
yeah.
you know, the hype of the media exacerbates the situation, because it is giving
I think
power to
that's-
the person that is
better
doing
believe
this.
it is.
And I you know,
And he's watching.
I believe in the First
And it's
Amendment,
also,
but
it's
I do
also
too, but he's-
reaffirming the fact that everyone's afraid of him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the real
He's going to
danger.
control this
So,
situation until he's dead or
he's in
something
control.
happens. We're going
Yeah.
to take a short break, come back and wrap it up for
Definitely.
you.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.